Hey class, this is your instructor Scott Thor. And first, I just wanted to congratulate you on making this far in the program. So, this is the capstone class. This is it. When you're done with this, you will become a certified green belt. So, I wanted to use this introduction video just to review quickly the syllabus a little bit and kind of share with you my thoughts for this class because I think this is kind of a unique class. First of all, in that it's not really designed to be a class where I'm going to be teaching you new things. This is more or less going to be more about you demonstrating what you have learned in the previous courses and applying it to a real world situation. So that really is at the heart of this course, is you sharing with me and maybe your classmates how you have applied the Lean and or Six Sigma methodologies to a real world situation. So that is really at the heart of this class, and that's why it's called a practicum. So that really is the primary focus of this course. The secondary focus is maybe not so important for some of you, but it's getting you ready to take the ASQ Certified Six Sigma Black Belt or Green Belt examination. So I'm going to be, maybe not on a weekly basis, I do have in the syllabus every week, I'm going to have a quiz that's not graded. None of the quizzes are going to be graded. I may reduce that just to the final week where we have a simulated exam that is a 4-hour, 100-question exam using some of the body of knowledge from ASQ. So if that's something important to you that you want to get certified by ASQ as a green belt, then maybe the exam at the end of this course may help you with that process. So that's a secondary focus, is to get you ready for that exam if you so desire. Now, I'm just going to quickly go through the syllabus to make sure everybody's on the same page with where I am with what I expect of this course. And the first thing is, the prereqs. I expect that everybody is going to have all the prereqs complete at this point in time. So I'm not going to be teaching you, statistical techniques, the philosophies, and picking a project. You should be long past that at this point. At this point, I'm hoping that most of you are at least in the very late stages of the analyze or the improve phase of your project and are implementing solutions and are measuring the results. So that's really what you're going to be doing, is sharing that with me and the rest of the course if you so choose to desire to share it with the rest of the class. So I'm going to be setting up some discussion forums where you can share your projects with one another as well. All of the reading material in this course is optional. I mean, I'm not a believer in forcing people to read, different things, books, articles, because some of it applies, some of it really doesn't. So it's just a matter of, I'm going to throw out to you some great books I've read. A lot of these are about human behavior. Some of them are great books around some of the tools and techniques of Lean Six Sigma. But it really doesn't make sense to read something that you can't apply right away. So this is just something to put into your library. And if it applies to your project, by all means read it. If it doesn't, then don't read it, because it's not really going to probably have much value for you at this point. So all of the reading in this course is optional. And the great thing about this course, which is really cool, is it's a 5-week course and there's 5 phases in the Lean Six Sigma approach. And so it doesn't really matter if you've used Lean or Six Sigma or Lean Six Sigma to do your project. I tend to find that all projects go through some definition, some baseline measurement, some analysis, some type of improvement, and then some type of sustainment or control. So even if you don't formally use the DMAIC process, it's really hard to go from start to finish with process improvement effectively without using this DMAIC approach. So this course is really laid out perfectly in that we're going to cover one of the phases in each one of the 5 weeks. And the primary method that I use to teach are the video lectures. So some of your other courses may have just been narrated PowerPoints. I like to use video because I think video just adds a little bit more human element to it, instead of just listening to your computer talk to you and not seeing a face. It's just me here sitting in my office in Bakersfield, California. So nothing really spectacular to look at, but at least you've got a face and a voice and a personality. So I'm hoping that will add a little richness to the course. So that's my primary mode of instruction, is just the video lectures. And I'm also going to be incorporating a lot of videos and websites, some of my blog postings, as far as reading materials. And like I said, the weekly quizzes, I'm kind of up in the air on that right now. None of the quizzes are going to be graded no matter what. So I'm looking at possibly doing some weekly quizzes and then building up to a final exam that won't be graded as well, that will simulate the 4-hour ASQ exam, because what I've found is when I've taken the ASQ exams is it's not so much having the knowledge that's, you obviously have to have knowledge to pass the T exam, but it's more, maybe not more, but it's partly about being able to manage your time, knowing I've got 100 questions and 4 hours. I've got to be able to budget my time to get through all those questions. So that last week probably is the only quiz I might be incorporating into the course, which will be a simulated 4-hour, 100-question exam. So you can have up to 4 hours to do it and just see how well you do on that to give you an assessment of are you ready to take the ASQ exam if that's something you're interested in doing. Now, as far as the assignments go, it's pretty straightforward in this class. There's only a couple key areas where I'm grading your performance. Number one is participation in the discussions. So those are worth 5 points each. So we're going to have 5 weeks, 5 discussions, 25 points. Then we're going to have 5 class exercises. And the 5 exercises are basically identical. Each one is going to be from each of the phases. And you're basically going to just document what you did in that phase with your real life project. And so each one of those is worth 20 points. And then there's going to be a final project report. So every week you're going to be writing one chapter of this 5-chapter story of your project. But when you get to the very end, if you just lumped all 5 of them together, you'll probably have, a 50-slide, PowerPoint deck, which is just way too much information. And so the final report is going to be just compiling the 5 weekly assignments down into kind of a Reader's Digest version, an abstract of your project that you would be standing in front of your leadership team, your champion, your sponsor, and sharing, the results of your project, or maybe even at a conference. And so your final report is just going to be a summary of the 5 weeks of assignments you're working on. And one thing worth noting is that the weekly discussions, for us to really have a rich dialogue, you need to be contributing to those discussions at least by Thursday at midnight is the deadline I'm set. Because what I find is if I don't set this deadline, then everybody comes in on Sunday night, puts all their discussion in. It's kind of hard to have a really rich dialogue and discussion when it's compressed to one day. So make sure to post your first discussion point by Thursday at midnight, and then your response to at least one of your classmates' posts by midnight on Sunday. So every week we're always going to start on Monday, and we're going to end on Sunday. So that's how the weeks are set up. And the only other thing that I'll note is point deductions. If you've taken my courses before, I've kind of stuck to the same rules there, is that for every day that you're late with an assignment or a posting, it's just 1 point deducted. And also critical to keep in mind is that the last assignment I won't accept late, because if I do accept the last assignment late, it just delays me putting in grades for everybody else who's been on time. So make sure by all means to get that last assignment in on time, but all assignments prior to the last one will have 1 point deducted for every day late. So that's pretty much it for the course. I look forward to getting started, and excited to see your